These are the 7 levels of YouTubers, going from the worst of the worst to the future of YouTube as a whole and everything in between, starting off with level 1, the copycat. Every creator draws inspiration from other creators to improve their content, but at some point, inspiration becomes imitation. And in the case of the Stokes twins, imitation became the very foundation of their career. Their videos are your typical high-intensity, retention-optimized, scripted videos with the sole purpose of grabbing your attention and getting views. But leaving aside the bad editing, the horribly fake acting, and the low IQ style of content, they are known for being YouTube's top creators for stealing content and plagiarizing. They have been exposed many times throughout their career for stealing video ideas, titles, thumbnails, and even copying entire videos one-to-one. Consider MrBeast's 2019 upload, Last to Leave Tesla Keeps It. The Stokes twins posted a video 2 years later titled Last to Leave Tesla Wins $10,000. The thumbnail was nearly identical and was basically the same one with their faces on it. And that is just one example out of the countless amount of times they did that. They even stole many thumbnails and video ideas from Airrack, completely remaking them without any shame whatsoever. And it also doesn't stop at thumbnails and video ideas. They even copied the whole video structure. Even though they have been called out many times by other YouTubers and even Airrack himself, they just don't seem to care at all. They also apply the same strategy for their short form content, ripping off exact ideas from other creators and getting away with it. And yet, with all that, they still have one of the biggest channels in the world with over 130 million subscribers and 600 million views in the past month. What surprises me the most, however, is how big creators like MrBeast agree to collab and support them even though they are known copycats. It just doesn't make sense to me. Now, if level 1 was about copying, level 2 is all about content farming. This is where creativity is almost entirely gone and just got replaced by mass production. Imagine it being a YouTube brainrot video conveyor belt that just produces the same videos all the time with the sole purpose of farming views and money from iPad kids. The blueprint is simple: zero depth, zero originality, and just endless repetition of hyper-edited fake videos designed to capture the shortest possible attention spans. And nobody embodies this better than creators like Ben Azalart and Topper Guild. You have I built a secret bunk bed in my room, I built 10 extreme rooms in my house, I built a secret Apple store in my room, a soccer stadium, a secret pool, a secret zoo, and endless pages of secret room videos. I mean, how many secret rooms can you actually build before it's not a secret anymore? This style of content is mainly done to target young kids that have nothing better to do than to watch the same videos all over again, week after week. From the editing style that is clearly optimized to try and keep your attention span in check and overwhelm your brain with so many information, camera cuts, and effects that you just get numbed and watch anyway, to the obvious scripted and fake scenarios they create just to try and make the video entertaining without even hiding it. This is basically the lowest of the low when it comes to content on YouTube. It's clear that these creators don't care about actual content, story, or creativity. All they care about is seeing the viewership number go up and that money counter machine going. And it's not just Ben or Topper. Many creators choose to go with this style of content, because why not? You have a video concept like secret rooms, pulling in tens of millions of views with every upload, a chance to script and fake the entire thing, making it easy to produce, and an insane high available audience due to the sheer amount of kids that are watching YouTube. Why risk coming up with new concepts or being creative in your ideas when you can get 50 million views per upload doing the same thing? This trend is becoming even more and more adoptive within creators, and is creating a scary side of YouTube filled with the same low-value recycled content, to the point where these creators became some of the biggest on the platform. I mean, the viewership on these videos is simply crazy. Ben Azalart averages around 90 million views per video. With these numbers, he's easily pulling in anywhere between $400,000 and $1 million every single month. Even when the king of this style of content himself, MrBeast, has stated many times that he's moving into more slower videos, more in-depth storytelling, and less screaming. But for some creators, they don't care about being the biggest in the world or building an empire. All they care about is the insane money coming in every single month. But at least these creators are famous for themselves and their own content, unlike what we have in level 3, the cloud chaser. Now, the cloud chaser isn't necessarily a bad person. Sometimes it's just how their careers were built from the start, and it's hard for them to separate themselves from another more famous creator, because if they do, they will be forgotten. It's the creator that built his career on the back of another much larger one, and spends his time around them, hoping some of that clout rubs off on them. Mike Malak is one that many of the fans label as a yes man or a cloud chaser living in Logan Paul's shadow. Love him or hate him, he built his career being Logan's number 2, building his fan base off of his online presence and sticking by him through anything in order to keep that clout alive, because if he doesn't, there's nothing much he can add or give to the audience on his own. He needs Logan's presence to stay relevant. And it all traces back to one thing: how he started. As a previous marketing manager at the furniture brand Lovesac, his job included influencer partnership, and that's where Logan Paul first entered the picture. They started working together then, and after Logan's Japan scandal, he brought Mike in more directly behind the scenes to help keep him out of trouble. basically to just babysit him. The pivot point was when Logan made Mike his co-host at Impulsive. This instantly put Mike under the spotlight of a big creator, but also under his shadow. As Mike started appearing more and more on the Impulsive episodes, Mike showed many signs of clout chasing and being a yes man to Logan. From his relentless chase for Prime shares.
Were you able to get any percentage ownership of Prime?
No. I have a verbal guarantee that I will be made whole.
To the cut of Lunchley he was given.
I'm going to give you equity in Lunchley. A very small amount, but yes.
What?
A little bit.
Well, this is honestly the first. Thank you.
Yeah.
This is the first time I'm hearing about that.
I mean, you know.
And his content need for Logan's validation. It's no secret, Mike struggles to find independent success and relies on Logan's influence and career to build his own. On his YouTube channel, you can clearly see that his content is a generic LA lifestyle vlogs. There is no actual content to be watched, no unique ideas or segments to actually enjoy. Who would want to watch a 40-year-old guy walking around LA pretending to be cool and act like they have a wonderful lifestyle? No one. But when that person is around one of the most famous entertainers in the world, suddenly it becomes more watchable and more relevant. Remove Mike from Logan, and his whole YouTube career would barely last a few months before fans start to get bored and move on. If you check his most viewed videos, you can highlight exactly why each video has the views it has, whether having a famous corn star being his girlfriend, or having Logan Paul and other famous creators as guests. You almost never see him do anything alone, because if he does, views dip. People don't come to watch Mike Malak, they come to watch what Logan Psychic is doing with a bunch of other famous creators. Now going up a level, things start to get a little bit better, because at level 4 we have the redemption. This level is for the creator that once stood at the absolute peak of YouTube, being the face of an era, only to lose it all and somehow find their way back. And no story captures that arc more perfectly than David Dobrik. With his recent comeback to vlogging, David is rebuilding himself online, hoping to gather his OG fans back for another run. In the late 2010s, David Dobrik was the YouTuber. Nobody did it like he did, and the views and massive fanbase he created speaks for itself. With the Vlog Squad, he created a new standard for short-form vlogging, 4-minute and 20-second videos packed with stunts, surprises, celebrity cameos, and a non-stop energy that made people not only get hooked on his content, but the whole group. By 2019, Dobrik was consistently pulling 10 to 20 million views per upload. At one point, he wasn't simply a creator, he was a mainstream celebrity, appearing on late-night shows and even becoming the face of social media's crossover into Hollywood. But the same empire that put him on the top so quickly came crashing down with many controversies that hit the group and mainly Dobrik himself. Serious allegations tied to videos on his channel led to questions about accountability and responsibility while filming some of these videos. And then it all came crashing down. One of the biggest YouTubers suddenly became one of the most controversial figures and effectively stopped posting his vlogs for years. But level 4 is not about endings, it's about comebacks. In 2024, Dobrik quietly began uploading again, and now he's back to a consistent schedule, posting a new video every 2 weeks. He went back to the formula that made him iconic: fast-paced edits, outrageous pranks, and that same feeling of watching a group of friends live larger-than-life experiences. And it's actually working. Millions of views began rolling in once again. Fans who grew up on the Vlog Squad suddenly had that nostalgia back. He definitely is far from the creator he was during his golden days, but his relevancy is slowly climbing back up online. And this time, things are looking good for him. As we keep moving up, we reach level 5, the breakout. This level is about breaking out from the YouTube noise filled with copycats, cloud chasers, and content farms. It's not easy at all to carve your own path in a crowded market and stand out, but Airrack made it happen. In just a few years, Airrack went from being no one to one of YouTube's fastest growing creators. His formula was simple but powerful: insanely viral challenges, uploaded every single week, and an addictive on-screen energy that just made the videos 10 times better. His channel grew to millions of subscribers in record time, consistently pulling tens of millions of views every video. Even Mr. Beast himself publicly praised Airrack, saying he would be the next creator to reach 100 million subscribers. And for a while, that prediction didn't feel far-fetched. Airrack wasn't just growing, he was breaking out, becoming one of the most talked about new names on the platform. But the party would end effectively in 2023. After announcing an insane 30 vlogs in 30 days challenge going around the world, fans were quick to discover that Airrack has been secretly faking his series all along. But not only that, he was also exposed for faking many of his older videos too. This quickly turned his die-hard fans away from his content, and his viewership and relevance took a big hit. 2024 was actually one of the worst years for Airrack. After averaging almost 10 million views in 2023 and ending on a bad note, he tried everything to gain his fans and relevance back, but this backfired on him. His ideas became so random that it lost all of what made Airrack famous in the first place, and the viewership dipped to barely 2 million views per upload. In 2025, Airrack seems to have gained a sense back into his content and began to reset. He stepped back, reworked his strategy, and returned to the style that made him famous in the first place, and the results are showing. His content feels more like Airrack, his uploads are getting more views, and most importantly, his fans are coming back. It's not the same explosive growth as his breakout days, but it's the beginning of another climb and another Airrack run that seems to be heading towards a new breakout year. Now we can't talk about the 7 levels of YouTubers without talking about the biggest YouTuber of them all, MrBeast. I put a special case in level 7, but for level 6, we have the endgame of YouTube, MrBeast himself. At this stage, Jimmy has gone beyond just views or subscribers. He has essentially completed YouTube and turned it into a once-in-a-lifetime entertainment empire that expands beyond the platform. The 5 levels before this are all products of MrBeast's insane dominance throughout the years, starting out with counting to 100,000 to making some of the largest entertainment productions today all on YouTube is a feat that no other creator has achieved. And what makes him the actual endgame is that you just can't compete with him. The amount of money, the manpower, the knowledge, and the experience he has makes it simply impossible, because nobody is playing the game that he is. And it's not just YouTube. Jimmy was able to expand his brand and presence globally with his Amazon show being Prime's most watched unscripted series ever. Combine that with his chocolate company Feastables generating hundreds of millions of dollars every year, and his brand new toy line and animated series, all expanding from his YouTube channel. At this stage, MrBeast is no longer competing with other YouTubers. He's competing with Netflix, Disney, and the entire entertainment industry, which makes him the ultimate endgame. Now you're probably wondering, well, if MrBeast is the endgame and he's only at level 6, who is at level 7? For this final level, I reserved it to Ryan Trahan, the future. You see, with Jimmy being so ahead of the game, he's not even playing the same game anymore. It is almost impossible to compete with him or replicate his success. But what Ryan was able to do might just be the future of YouTube, and something every creator should think about and take into consideration. Ryan Trahan managed to take what made MrBeast so watched and combined it with what made YouTube famous and loved years ago. The authentic, personality-driven videos that make you follow along not for the insane amount of money being spent, the production, or the idea, but for the love of the creator himself. Ryan didn't explode into YouTube by building million-dollar sets or handing out islands. Instead, he broke through with simplicity, storytelling, and authenticity. His Penny series, where he tried to cross America starting with a single penny, became one of the most iconic YouTube series in recent years. He's pulled in tens of millions of views on videos that are essentially just him, a camera, and an impossible challenge, even raising millions for charity at the same time. There is simply no other creator pulling tens of millions of views consistently, going to Airbnbs and testing train seats. Because people don't watch for the idea, they watch for Ryan himself. And this is the future of YouTube. Not million-dollar sets, not Lamborghinis and insane stunts, but real, authentic personalities going on journeys that the audience can follow along and get attached to. Ryan Trahan proves that the future of YouTube doesn't have to be about spending the most money or scaling the biggest sets. It can be about being authentic, telling better stories, and creating content that resonates emotionally. If MrBeast is the endgame of YouTube's first era, then Ryan Trahan might just be the beginning of the next one.